You're juggling a dozen browser tabs, a dozen spreadsheets, a video call with your professor, and a 20-page research paper due in 3 hours. Your laptop keeps stuttering, the screen feels cramped, and the storage is full of half-finished projects. Sound familiar? What if I told you there's a machine that can handle all of that, without breaking a sweat, without costing a fortune, and without looking like it belongs in a server room? Meet the HP 17. It's not just another mid-range notebook. It's a powerhouse wrapped in a sleek, professional design, built for students and professionals who refuse to compromise. With a blazing fast AMD Ryzen 5 7430U processor, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and a massive 2 terabytes SSD, this machine doesn't just keep up, it sets the pace. And today, we're putting it through the ringer to see if it lives up to the hype. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Most budget laptops struggle with multitasking. You open Chrome with 20 tabs, Slack, Zoom, and a few Word docs, and suddenly everything crawls. That's where the Ryzen 5 7430U changes the game. This isn't some outdated dual-core chip. It's a 6-core, 12-thread beast that boosts up to 4.3 gigahertz. AMD claims it's 15% faster than previous generations, and in real-world use, that translates to smooth sailing even when you're running a virtual machine, editing photos, and streaming a lecture all at once. No lag, no estúter, just pure, responsive performance. But raw power means nothing without the memory and storage to back it up. That's where the 64 gigabytes DDR4 RAM and 2 terabytes PCI NVMe SSD come in. 64 gigabytes is overkill for most users, but if you're running virtual machines, compiling code, or editing 4K video, you'll thank HP for going above and beyond. And the 2 terabytes SSD, that's not just for storing files. It's for lightning-fast boot times, near-instant file transfers, and enough space for years of projects, games, and media. No external drives, no cloud clutter, just instant access to everything you need. Now, let's talk about the star of the show, the 17.3-inch HD Plus touchscreen. At 1600 by 900 resolution, it's not 4K sharp, but it's crisp enough for reading documents, watching lectures, and even light photo editing. The anti-glare coating is a game changer. No more squinting in bright rooms or fighting reflections. And the touchscreen? It's responsive, accurate, and surprisingly intuitive. Whether you're scrolling through research papers, annotating PDFs, or just navigating windows with your finger, it feels natural. The large screen size is a huge productivity boost, especially if you're used to cramped 13-inch displays. The design is where this laptop truly shines. It's not flashy, but it's professional and understated. The silver aluminum chassis feels premium, and the backlit keyboard is a lifesaver for late-night study sessions. The keys are well-spaced, with decent travel, and the touchpad is smooth and accurate. Port selection is solid. 2 USB-A ports, 1 USB-C, HDMI, a headphone jack, and a microSD reader. Wi-Fi 6 ensures fast, stable connections, even in crowded dorms or offices. Battery life? Expect around 6 to 8 hours of mixed use. Decent for a 17-inch laptop, but don't expect all-day endurance. Let's put this thing to the test. I loaded up 30 browser tabs, a virtual machine running Ubuntu, a 4K video editing project in Premiere Pro, and a full suite of Microsoft Office apps. The Ryzen 5 handled it all with ease. The system stayed cool under load, and the SSD made file transfers instantaneous. The touchscreen was a joy to use for scrolling through dense documents and annotating PDFs. Even with all that running, the laptop never felt sluggish. The only hiccup? The integrated Radeon graphics aren't built for gaming, but for productivity, they're more than enough. Now, let's be real. No product is perfect. The 1600 by 900 resolution is a step down from higher-end laptops, and the speakers are just okay. The battery life, while decent, isn't class-leading. And while 64 gigabytes of RAM is overkill for most users, it's not upgradable, so you're stuck with it. But for the price, these trade-offs are minor. This isn't a machine for gamers or creative professionals pushing the limits of 3D rendering. It's for students and business users who need reliability, power, and a great display without breaking the bank. How does it stack up against the competition? Let's compare it to the Dell Inspiron 17, another popular 17-inch laptop. The Inspiron has a similar design and specs, but maxes out at 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes SSD. The HP blows it out of the water with 64 gigabytes RAM and 2 terabytes SSD for roughly the same price. The Lenovo IdeaPad 5 Pro is sleeker and has a better display, but it lacks the touch screen and maxes out at 16 gigabytes RAM. For pure productivity and storage, the HP 17.3-inch is in a league of its own. So who is this laptop for? If you're a student drowning in assignments, a professional juggling multiple projects, or a remote worker needing a reliable machine, this is it. It's not the lightest or the most portable, but it's a desktop replacement that punches far above its weight. The AMD Ryzen 5 7430U, 64 gigabytes RAM, and 2 terabytes SSD make it a future-proof investment, and the touchscreen adds a layer of versatility that most laptops in this range lack. If you've been struggling with a slow, underpowered laptop, it's time to upgrade. The HP 17.3-inch touchscreen laptop isn't just a machine. It's a productivity revolution. Click the link below to check it out and take the first step toward a smoother, faster, and more efficient workflow. Trust me, your future self will thank you.